The memory that stays with me of 5 coffins with the Union flag over them and the helicopter coming and the dust and the sun setting.
Was that in Afghanistan?
That was in Afghanistan, yeah. That was hard to deal with because I'd been there with them men. I was part of that explosion.
Can you walk me through the day when you lost your sight?
It was Operation Pound for Claw, and it was operation named Herrick 10. It was in 2009. I'd been out there pretty much for my 6-month tour. We was in a FOB called, FOB meaning Forward Operating Base. We was in the front line there, and basically I had to go down the same road, which was called Pharmacy Road. And this is where we lost 5 lads and several wounded, and other people had been injured and killed on the same road, so it was notorious. And my job would be the Vallon man, V-A-L-L-O-N, and that's to find the IEDs. I was first man out, last man back in. And on this day, my platoon commander, Mr. Hillard, I remember him kicking my bunk and saying, "Jakey, I want you on this patrol." I didn't need to be on this patrol, but I was asked to go on it. And it was another regiment coming in. And I'd made friends with this fellow called Jonathan Young from, I think it was either the Yorks or the Mercians, but he'll have to forgive me for that one. And they were leading the patrol. And I was good at my job as a Vallon man, leading men, bringing them back in safe. I hadn't failed. But the one day that I wasn't patrolling and leading the men, all hell broke loose. And unfortunately, poor Jonathan Young was killed because he was taking over from my position. He was still fresh on the ground. He was 19 years old. And, yeah, there was no need to go up that part of the dirt track because it didn't lead anywhere. We couldn't do anything with that ground. And I went forward to try and assist his body. There was a small arms contact. I was injured in the first explosion. The second explosion then came by my platoon sergeant, my sniper sergeant, Paul McAleese. There was a bit of misunderstanding between me and McAleese, and he tripped the secondary device, which unfortunately killed him and then injured me. And that's the end of my career.
What did it feel like at the moment?
It's going to take more than a plaster to fix this one. You just knew. It's like you just know. I can't explain it. It's when McAleese took that move, I just knew what was coming. It's milliseconds, and your brain is registering it, but it's not. The body can't do nothing about it. It's just, you just have to accept it. There's smoke, there's dust, there's sand, there's heat, there's blood, there's guts, and then you've got an earpiece in with people screaming at you, and then you've got people on your flank screaming, and then there's contacts with the GPMGs or some sort of weapon going off. It's just carnage, isn't it?
So what happened after the injury?
Talking to the lads and the ladies on the ground, they tell me that I was really pissed off, and apparently I Kazivac myself backwards behind the machine guns, and I was stripped down to my boots because that's what the explosion did to me. It flipped me back, but apparently I stood up and I wasn't too pleased. That's what they tell me. And then apparently I collapsed, lack of blood. And because at the end of the day, shrapnel ripped through my right thigh, ripped through my upper right arm, shrapnel through the nose, through the right eye, into the brain. What is it they say, 2 millimeters from my throat. So I'm lucky to be here, really.